Hey guys, welcome to episode 57 of Dang Shrine. Hope you are all doing well. Our guest host will join us here in a little bit. Our guest host will be Mal. If you don't remember Mal, he used to do the Red Bull esports stuff for Starcraft 2 back in the day in like 2014 and stuff. And he most recently hosted WCS Montreal just this last year. So he'll be joining us here in a little bit. He's on his way, but he will join us shortly. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you guys want to tweet about the show, that'd be fantastic, and I would love you forever. No guest tonight besides Mal. It was just kind of a busy week, but obviously that doesn't stop us from doing the show. We'll still do it no matter what. But I digress. I just wanted to jump right into things. Like I said, Mal will join us in a bit. So we're going to start today's show off with our just kind of general topics. We're going to start off with roster changes. Obviously, we talked about Demu getting picked up last week, and then Risky getting dropped. We also talked a little bit about Titan X1 and how they were apparently picking up all those Korean players. Well, that's now official. So Titan X1 is official. Their official roster is Leenock, Bunny, Jokji, Ragnarok, and Impact. So congratulations to them. From what we talked about with one of my mods, or from No Regret last week, actually, because he kind of saw their contracts. The contracts were a little more heavily sided to where if the players win, they give more back to the team. But the team has also had like a pretty high salary as well. So it was pretty incentive for those players to sign. Obviously, Leenock, doing really well, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But that was really cool. So we have another new team. And that's a Korean team too, so that's interesting as well that we have. So now there's actually two official Korean teams, and Generic Green Wings, obviously they never left us. And then Titan X1 is like a tech company in Korea. So pretty cool that we have another, actual official Korean team. Yeah. So that's a pretty cool thing. What else? Oh, as far as general roster changes, Optimus left Dead Pixels, so Optimus is now a free agent. Best known for being the second best Terran player in the Netherlands. Optimus is a really great streamer. He's been pretty consistent throughout his career. He's been getting better and better as of late, attending WCS events. So I'm sure someone will pick him up pretty quickly. And then the other one was Semper Leafs Root Gaming. Semper, obviously, Canadian up-and-comer from NA. He was in Nation Wars last year, and he really had a really good showing. And he's been one of the top NA players for like a really long time, so I'm sure that he won't remain teamless for long as well. So I'm really, really hoping that someone picks him up as well here pretty soon, because I don't want to see him teamless for too long. So a lot of good players are available here, obviously, for our teams that are still looking right now. So hopefully they'll make some pickups here in the near future, and I'm pretty sure they will. Yeah. So moving forward, I wanted to get into the WCS Leipzig qualifiers. So all qualifiers now are done except for Latin America, which start is it soon? I forgot to look this up. Jesus, where is it? I don't even see it on the upcoming list. I'll find it later. Anyway, so that's obviously like coming, but that's the only one that hasn't finished yet. So we'll see that pretty soon. But otherwise, I wanted to go over those that have qualified already, starting with Europe. So let's just take a look here. So for our European qualifiers, if you didn't already watch, we have a Laser who finished first, Cyril, Euthermal, and Nurcio. So top four are all getting paid trips, obviously, to Leipzig. So I don't think that's crazy. I mean, if you look at the players who played, it's not crazy. Stefano played, and he actually looked really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him attend, just on with his own with his own money, because he really did a really good job. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Stefano there as well. Then moving on here, we have our qualifiers from the North American region. I was able to catch most of these. Obviously, Neeb and Scarlet qualifying. That's not unusual. That's kind of like typical suspect kind of things. But one thing that's great was the fact that Massa got through, who's someone who, obviously Massa is a very good player, but doesn't always show up, I guess you could say. Like he's kind of inconsistent with where he places. So good for him for placing, and then followed by True from Sidestorm Gaming. So good players. Obviously Scarlet, playing with a little bit of lag, playing from Korea. Our boy Volts, he did pretty well. He did well to get there. He did come in last in his group for Group A, but he'll bounce back. We'll see him here at Cheesadelphia, and then Austin here coming up as well. So it's he's one of those players that he'll bounce back. He'll do a good job. But yeah, so moving on here. So like I said, Latin America hasn't happened. And actually, let me take a look here and see when Latin America, the qualifiers are happening. Okay, so that's going to be on the 13th. So in 3 days, we'll have the qualifiers for that. So that's good. So then we'll finally have everything done. So that should happen here pretty quick. Otherwise, we had from the Taiwan region. I'll show you guys that. From Taiwan, we had nice go Joey, but always and Haas. So Nice and Haas are the only players I'm really familiar with. I don't know of Go Joey, but it's a cool name, I guess. And I don't know, but good for Haas for qualifying. Obviously, a member of OSC Elite. OSC is a great organization, so congratulations to those players for qualifying. For the Chinese seeds, we have Time, XY, Tudming, and Cyan. So congratulations to those guys. Obviously, Time, really good. Actually, all these players are really good. Tudming, Cyan. If you guys aren't familiar with the Chinese scene, all those guys are really, really good. Some of those Chinese players are really top competitors, and were even in the team house in Korea last year. So look for them to kind of stir up some stuff, and you should see them finish in place pretty high when it comes to this for this next for WESG, or for WCS, not WESG. And then finally, and then most recently, we had the qualifier for ANZ, which was really cool that they actually got mainstream. So NA normally gets it, and then ANZ's normally pushed off to the secondary stream. But it was really cool that they finally got mainstream. And everyone was able to watch those games. So only the top two got seeded. So Probe and Seether, which is the normal. Like that's who you kind of expect to come out of the region. That's not really strange by any means. But what's really cool is Yours and Notorious PIG. So Yours plays for 1F, and for him to get third is I think one of his highest placings to date. So really great for him to almost qualify. But then Notorious PIG is actually Pig's younger brother Jared. Or I'm sorry, Jared. That Pig's younger brother Noah. And that's his highest finish to date as well. So really cool rising talent kind of coming out of that region. So it's really nice to see growing and rising talents, coming out of all scenes, like with Raynar, and Clem, and having those guys, really coming into their own. But yeah, and it just goes to show that even when players have started out, or haven't been playing as long as some of the players that we know, that some of these younger players still have a lot of talent. And they're able to kind of show up and play these games and beat out a lot of these players. So it's really cool to have something like that. So it would be great to have Pig Junior come up and be the best Australian player. I think that would be really cool for him, for not only him but also for his brother. So that would be, I don't know, that for me, I think that's a really cool story. That's a really cool storyline. But let's see. So yeah, so once that gets done, once through the 13th, then we'll get, obviously, then we'll, once we're a little bit closer to the brackets, then we'll finally get, our official brackets. And so that's slated to start on the 26th, which is 2 weeks from now. So that's 2 weeks from Friday. So not too much longer until that. So that's coming right up. I mean, people don't realize like how fast these things are coming. And once we get rolling into the season here, things are really going to start rolling and flying by as we go. So it should be really entertaining. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, this being like the first major event of the year. Here, I'll pull up the list of notable participants here. So obviously, you can see these are some of the players. These are the players that have qualified, thus far. Of that, if I had to pick someone who I really favored to do well, I really think that Nurchio will do well, and Cyril. But if I had to pick one person to win the whole thing, Neeb seems like the obvious pick. But I'm actually going to say Cyril. Cyril's been playing really well lately. Obviously, we're coming into a new season. And for almost like not a dark horse, I guess, but for a player that, I think is going to finish very high is going to be Thermal. He's just been grinding a lot of games as of late, so I really think that he's going to do well, and he's going to end up placing really high. So should be good games. I'm really excited to see the brackets. Obviously, we can do a little bit of a bracket preview once they come out here, probably next week. So either during next week's show we'll have that, or the week after. We'll have those available, and then we can take a look at that and see who we think might do well. We're still waiting for Mal. He should be here pretty soon. He told me he would be a little bit late, but we'll see. I'm kind of flying through this, and I don't want to go through too quick. But yeah, I also had a really big like what the fuck moment. So what I wanted to do for the month of February, because for some reason I thought, this is a side tangent now, but for some reason I thought the month of February was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which it's not. It's October. I don't know why I thought it was February. It's October. But I wanted to do pink Dang Shrine apparel, and then have the proceeds go towards breast cancer research. So I think I'll still do that, but I might just wait until actual Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October and not February. So yeah, I don't know why I thought it was February, but I thought that was a cool idea. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think that would be something kind of cool. I don't think the Starcraft community has done anything like that. So I think that would be kind of a cool thing to donate towards, obviously, like doing like cancer research. So I mean, a lot of us have had, family members affected by that. So I think that would just be kind of a cool thing to do. So we'll see. Obviously, I'll come up with some designs and stuff for it, but till then, we got a while to wait, because October, not February. Actually, here we're still waiting, so I want to wait before we go any farther here with Mal. Something that I just found out, because I just did my other show. I just did the OSC weekly show, News and Highlights, which you guys should all watch that every week or every 2 weeks or so. It's usually on like Wednesdays or Thursdays. But yeah, you guys should watch that, because we just found out some really cool stuff for the new season for OSC. So they have a couple new tournaments coming in, which is cool. They have like one brand new Latin American only tournament. We have the Platy Pro tournament, which basically it's for anyone to participate in as long as you've made less than $8,000 playing StarCraft. So it's a really good opportunity for those that, are kind of sitting in like the semi-pro kind of category for them to compete in, and not those players that have already collected those paychecks. So that's a cool tournament. But one of the cool things is they got rid of the participation awards in a way. So last year they kind of did this participation award where, the more tournaments you participated in, you kind of got these rewards. And I think it ended up being like money or something, which is very cool. But this year they changed it. For this year they're going to change it. So the way they're going to do it is they're going to do 2 like giveaways. So like every time you participate, you get like a point. And then at the end of like, I think Eddie said June, they're going to do like a raffle. And it's going to be for a full paid for event. So if you want to go to like a WCS event and you win that raffle, Eddie will pay for the travel, so the plane ticket, the ticket to the event. If you want to compete in the event, he'll pay for that, and then also for your accommodations. So they're giving away like 2 of those like this year. So you should really like participate in that, because that would be like really, really, really cool. And then they're doing the same thing for Twitch. So they're doing a separate one for Twitch. So like if you're one of their Twitch subs for OSC, you'll be able to get, you'll be able to win like a full paid trip to like a WCS event, like of your choice. So that's pretty cool. So it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, not everyone's gonna win, but for those that will win, I think it is pretty cool. Okay, so Mal just gave me an update. He's gonna be about 15 minutes. I asked about GSL. He was kind of like, I don't know how that would work, but I think it's just WCS circuit. So unfortunately, because I asked about GSL too, I would love to go to the GSL. I think that would be a really cool opportunity. I know that would be great to go to GSL. So speaking of GSL, if you didn't watch last week's show too, obviously I talked with No Regret. At some point when we work out the logistics of our interview with Life, we're actually going to work with No Regret. And Matt, the cameraman Matt, the one who does all of Jake's vlogs, we're going to work with them for the Life interview. So they'll do the camera work, and then, we'll do everything, obviously, like I'll be there, talking to Life and everything. But I think that would be really cool working with them. Obviously, they do a really nice job. So I'm really looking forward to that. Plus, then we can do some stuff like at the team house since we'll be out there. Papa bless. But yeah, so we have a lot of good stuff coming up for this year. Obviously, you can see that our goal for this year is going to be for DreamHack Austin. So I just want you guys to know any donations that you make towards this channel will go directly into that. So what that's going to pay for, that's going to pay for flight, accommodations, and stuff for getting us to Austin. Me and Seeker, that is, getting us there. And then, for us providing that day content. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about too, because I'm not for sure if I wanted to do this, but I thought it might be a good idea because, I feel for those that sub, I really appreciate you, but I feel like you're not getting a big enough benefit for subbing. So what I would like to do is I would like to, for anyone who subs, I would like to give you guys first access to our of day event content. Does that make sense? So, when I'm at the events, I've now got it laid out in a way that all the content that I make at live events will be uploaded day of. So, for those that sub, I want them to be have access to that day of. As soon as it's uploaded, they have access. They can watch it because it's not something that can be done live, unfortunately, because of obviously the wireless connections and stuff. Unless you have dedicated stuff, which I've been trying to talk to DreamHack about. It's pretty hard to actually get that kind of stuff set up for me though. But still, I would like to, do the recordings day of, upload them, and then anyone that subs, I'd love to give them first day access, and then for everyone else, have it be the first thing tomorrow morning. So even before WCS starts, then you guys all have access to that day prior's event. So any interviews that I do, so let's say TLO comes in, he qualifies, he gets past group stages, he's playing the next day, we know he's going to be playing Kelzer. I do a little interview with TLO, see how he's feeling, see what he's got, talk about that kind of stuff, and then the people that are sub will be able to watch that day of. As soon as that gets uploaded, they'll be able to see it, and then those that are not will have access to that the day after. So kind of, I don't know how you tell me how you guys feel about that. I feel like it's kind of a little bit of incentive. You still get something because obviously I'm not going to paywall any of our VODs. I want you guys to be able to enjoy everything that we do, but I think a little bit of early access would be kind of a cool thing. But yeah, you guys tell me if that's something that you guys would like, or yeah or no or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just let me know what you guys are thinking. We're still a little bit out here as far as obviously going yet, but as we get closer, we'll get more and more. So I'm not worried about it. But yeah, just wanted you guys to know that if you do donate, all your donations will go towards more content. We'll put it all back into the show. Speaking of the show, thank you to Sloth Esports, who agreed for a full year of sponsoring the show again. So I'm waiting for shipment right now. We'll start doing some giveaways here as soon as I get those. We'll probably do one a month. So we'll have the Sloth Esports mouse pads that look like this. So they'll be the medium-sized ones. Probably a little bit cleaner. This one's got almost a year and a half of use. But you'll get one of these brand new, and we'll do some giveaways for those as soon as I get them. And then I got this. I got this in a razor giveaway, so I won a Naga Chroma. So we might even do a giveaway for that, or that might even be something that I give away like at an event. I haven't quite decided yet, but obviously, like, follow the channel if you want to get free stuff, because we'll be doing some giveaways here later in the month. So yeah, obviously we're still just waiting for Mal, and then we'll go over GSL groups. I kind of want to wait for Mal to go over the GSL groups. He should be home here pretty quick. Let's see, when did he message me? 19. He'll be home. All right, we'll be home pretty quick. Let's see. While we wait, if anyone wants to, I'm open to taking a call in. So if you guys want to join the Discord, I will bring you on for call-ins. So if you have a question or a comment, or you want to talk about something briefly, go ahead and join the general chat. I'll bring you into the other chat, and we can briefly talk about anything that you might want to bring up. Maybe you feel like you want to discuss, or hasn't been talked about a lot, or if you have an opinion on something. So if you want to do that, feel free. We'll do that until Mel gets here. So anyone that wants to, feel free to do that. Just join the Discord there, and then you can just click on the voice channel, and then I'll take your call, as it were. I'm trying to think of anything else here. That's pretty much it. I've kept you guys up to date on pretty much everything. As you know, like, the show will be done each week, no matter what. Now we're no longer, dependent upon guests. Obviously, if we can have guests, that's great. And I'm going to work really hard to get guests. It's been a bit tricky with GSL starting up. I wanted to get sort of on beforehand, but he was like really training, so I didn't want to bother him. And obviously No Regret came on, last week, so that was great of Jake. And obviously we're going to have a little bit of a connection with the people in the team house as well, so we'll kind of have that going for us as well, getting those guys on the show. So hopefully we can get one of them to come on, maybe even like Hurricane, Korean player that's in the team house. He would be cool to talk to. So, but we'll do our best to just try to, keep bringing you guys, content, and feel free to like tweet at people that you want us to have on the show. So like, for example, like if you're a real big Showtime fan and you really, really, really want us to interview Showtime, just tweet at, us and then at him, like, hey, I would really love you to do an interview with these guys, or something like that, for whoever your favorite player is. And if we haven't done an interview with them, and that's something that you'd want, feel free. But doesn't look like we have any callers this time. Bummer. That's all right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to stop stalling here, and we're gonna have to move on, I guess, to some GSL talks. That's okay. I can talk about GSL for a long time. Okay, so obviously, last night we had last night's groups, but we're actually gonna start with Group A. Let me go ahead and just pull this up. 1 second. Okay. So we're going to talk about Group A. So Group A was Lenok, or Innovation rather, then Lenok, Solar, and Creator. So I don't want to say that the Artosis curse is true, but I tweeted at Artosis before the group started, and I was like, hey, who do you like for tonight's matches? And he was like, I'm really liking Solar. And then Solar lost. So I'm not saying there's an Artosis curse, but there is an Artosis curse. I'm just saying. But yeah. So obviously Innovation finished first. He played really well, and that wasn't really surprising. And then I think what was more surprising, though, was how well Lenok actually played, considering that, he was retired, this retired player that, no one had really given a shot for, people pretty much counted him out. So really cool for him to kind of show up, and really play really well. He played sick. So I'm happy for Lenok. And I think that has a little bit to do with him signing with the new team, Titan X1. I'm a firm believer that when people join new teams, that they play better. Whether it's just like the fact that they're now playing on a new team, I think it's specifically because they want to show that team, like, hey, you know invested in me, you picked me up. I'm going to show you why that was a good decision. So I feel like players always play harder once they first gotten picked up by like a new team, because they really just want to show them that they like made the right choice and picking them up. Going back to that question, any shot at getting Scarlett in before her matches? Scarlett is a little bit tricky with getting her interviews, or with getting interviews with her. She's a little like Neeb. She really doesn't like to do them. I can ask Jake though. I can ask No Regret if he would like it, or if she would be up to it. So I'll ask and see if we can get on, because I would love to have her on. I've wanted her on for a long time, obviously, but it's more up to her, obviously, to see if she's up to doing it. But I'll ask. But yeah, so obviously those games were really good. Like I said, Innovation, played sick. He didn't drop one match. Leonok played good. Solar played pretty mediocre. It was pretty disappointing to see him play that poor. And I think it was surprising, whether or not the Artosis curse is real. And then Creator, to not win. He only won one match. He won one match versus Solar, but he played very poorly, and it's pretty tough to see, because he plays really well on stream, and he really hasn't done well since like 2012. I think he won like WCS Korea, not JSL. It was like WCS Korea. It was different at the time. For sure, yeah. I mean, it was a tough group, but like he gets nerves. Like they were talking, like Taste and Artosis were talking about a little bit during the broadcast. He gets nerves, to this day still playing up there, and I think it's because he hasn't had results since like Wings of Liberty. Like he's been, he's always in like that top 32. Like he always is pretty much like a GSL qualifier, but he never gets past that like first round. And I think that's hard. I think it's like a mental blockage. And it's like a little bit disheartening, like, getting up there and like making it and then just not being able to, to get any farther. So I think it's a little bit disappointing, but he's really good on streaming. You'll see him beat, really great players on the stream. So he definitely has it in him, but I think he still gets a little bit of that almost stage fright, when he's up there. Last night's groups, we had SOS, Deer, Biel, and sort of, coming in last, but he played first versus SOS. In that first game, he played so sick. He played super smart. He took advantage of SOS, and after that first game, I was like, damn, like he could get out first. I really thought that he could get out first, and unfortunately, he came in last. But he played really, really well, in that first game, and also just for him to qualify for GSL for the very first time. Like he's never qualified for GSL. I would say he was a mid-tier European player. No offense to him. Obviously, he's still a really great player, but I would say he's like a mid-tier, European Zerg. But for him to, get into GSL, qualify for GSL, and beat SOS, those are still great results. I think that's fantastic for your first time getting into GSL, getting into Kodas, putting on a show in game one and laying out SOS. I mean, that's amazing. I would not be disappointed with those results at all. I think that's, to be frank, I mean, that's amazing, for him to be able to do that. So I'm really happy with those results for him. So hopefully he'll continue. I don't know if he'll still stay out in Korea or not, but I'm really hoping that he'll continue to grow, and hopefully we'll see him even try to qualify for next season. I think that would be amazing if he went back to Korea and qualified for a second season. But obviously SOS played brilliantly. He went 4-1, and then it kind of came down to Biel and Deer. And if you're in Korea, a lot of the I'll get to your question here in a second. A lot of the Koreans will tell you, Deer is a really good player. He's being on top. He's a champion. Biel is a really good Zerg, and he's always kind of been like on that cusp as well. Like he's like around a 16 kind of guy. Like, Biel's not like, he's not one of like the very top, but he's someone that you never want to sleep on. He can always, you should always be kind of scared of him. But Deer, really taking advantage of of playing Protoss right now and getting out. Let's take a look here. Oh, what was your? Oh, link to the bracket. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Late. What was your question here? Where did that go? Okay. Do you think it's fair that foreigners are allowed to invade GSL? I get region lock, but the gap is smaller, and GSL is the biggest tournament for Koreans, and foreigners are already taking up quite a few spots every season. Okay, so I do think it's fair because they're going through qualifiers. It's not like the old GSL, where foreigners were gifted spots in Code S. They still have to go through qualifiers and they still have to earn them. Like Puck was there, sort of was there, Zanster was there. I'm trying to remember. Namshar maybe was in Korea. So they all had to go through the same bracket. Like they didn't get seeded into Code S. They have to play and they have to qualify. So if those Korean players can't beat them, then no, I don't see a problem with that really. Because here's the thing, like they're like if a Code S, like let's say Scarlet makes it through the round of 32 and gets to the round of 16, obviously she's gonna. I think she would be more focused on GSL rather than WCS. So don't even know that she would keep necessarily competing in WCS events if they coincided with GSL. Do you know what I mean? Like I think she would more focus on that. It's the same thing with like True and how True fully came to the US to play in WCS circuit. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's unfair. I think it's perfectly fair. But I think at the same time, like those players would stay in Korea. If they came here, True, you think that, but like True doesn't necessarily crush WCS qualifiers every time. It's like it like needed to be. It's like less of a big deal now, but it's also so that we can have more integration later on. Like now that we have like the GSL versus the world and stuff, like it gets it's more of a storyline like when the foreigners play like the Koreans now, because before they would just get crushed and there was never any good storylines. Like there was never a good enough, there was barely any good enough foreign players, that could beat these Koreans. You were getting around to 32 Koreans, beating the very best, from North America and wherever else. So I think it's more fun now, and I think it's a better system now. GSL qualifiers are quite short. Not to take anything from Jake, but the first time he qualified for beat Impact twice. Yeah, I mean Impact qualified this time, I think, though, didn't he? Let me take a look here. I thought Impact qualified. Yeah, Impact did qualify this time. So, but that doesn't matter. Like I don't know. Like if you can't beat, like the thing with No Regret is you really know like what he's gonna do. So if you can't beat him, then I don't think you deserve to be in GSL. I don't find that that's an issue really. Like we're like I don't know, we're like going into like is it moral? I don't know. Maybe it's not a moral issue. I think it's fine. I think the way that they do it now is fine. I think if a Korean really thought that they could dominate and crush in WCS circuit, they would get on an NA team and they would do it. But I think one of the reasons why they don't is because the practice they seem to drop in skill level when they come to North America. Like people almost like between a lot of the Koreans, like they don't think a lot of True anymore now that he like plays here. Like they kind of count him out a lot, which is wrong, obviously, because he's still a really good player. But he definitely, I would say for sure, he dropped a lot in skill though. So where do we draw the line? At some point, for example, half of Code S is foreigners. We lock them out. No, I think at that point, if half of the Code S is foreigners, I think that's when you unlock it. I think that's when you end region locking, and then just let everyone compete in everything. Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like think about this. What's the latest rounds any foreigner has gotten into has only been the round of 16. So no foreigners like winning GSL right now, right? So like at this point, it's not an issue. Like the Koreans are still like playing at like a much higher level. So then at this point, I don't think it's necessary. Like I think that for the round of 32, there are foreigners that can beat Koreans. But because before it was the exact opposite. It would be these Koreans that would show up, and it would be like, they would win everything. It would be like the top 10 were all Korean players. So that's what it was. That's why they did it. It's because, okay, we need to stop them. And it was also discouraging from players from every other region because they were just losing. Right? So they were losing, in group stage, immediately to Korean players. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it right now is I don't think region locking is an issue at this point in time. I think it's fine. Yeah, like I said, I think if at a time it comes if half of if half of Code S is foreign players, then sure, let's go ahead and let's unlock it. Because at that point, I don't think we need it. But until then, I think it's fine the way it is. I don't think we need to change it. I think it's fine. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do for it until that point. So, but I digress. We were talking about Group B. So yeah, SOS played really, really good. Played insane. BL played decent. He definitely had a chance. But Deer definitely showed up because it came down to them. Like I said, because they played earlier in the bracket. It was Deer versus BL. I think Deer won pretty handedly, 2-0. But it was pretty scrappy in the final games. It was Deer 2-1. So I would definitely go back and recommend that you guys watch those games because they were really good, especially game 1. Watch the first game with Sort of winning versus SOS. Super good game. Highly recommend watching that match. Super good. But yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? I guess we'll. God, man, Mal's still not here. Oh, well, we'll keep going. We'll keep trucking. So then we have Group C. Obviously, this is coming up in 2 days. So we're gonna have Rogue, Billowy, Scarlet, and Alive. So that group is not. I think Rogue gets out first. I think that's obviously like champion, right? Like BlizzCon champion, like the best. So I'm gonna say Rogue gets out first, but I'm gonna say Scarlet gets out second. I really like her odds of getting out of this group. I think she can tango with Rogue. I think she can put up a good fight versus Rogue. But I know that she can beat Billowy, and I know that she can beat Alive. So I really like her opportunity to get out. Otherwise, I would say Alive has the next best shot. So I would say Rogue first, Scarlet second, Alive third, and Billowy fourth. With a possibility that Alive upsets Scarlet, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be Rogue and Scarlet getting out of that group pretty easily. And we'll get Mal's take on this too when he joins us, or if he joins us. Slick Rick snares really showed through last night. I liked how they were calling him Slick Rick. The signs, that was great. Was misleading where he was getting Koreans and losing the game. Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I'm gonna cut him a lot of slack. Obviously, with it being his very first time, competing in GSL, I'm willing to cut him a lot of slack. But yeah. Looks like I do have someone in the Discord here for Colin. Soul, if you're still around here, let's get you in here and we'll see what you have to say. Hey, dude, you still there?
Hi.
Did you have a comment or something, or what did you? What's
Wait, I have to mute your stream.
What's your Twitch handle?
Intersect.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
Not much. What did you have to bring? What did you want to discuss?
Oh, I just wanted to comment here and there about the players in the group.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a little less experience about the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I watched more Wings of Liberty and played more there. But I'm really excited to see Scarlet again. Honestly, I cannot predict what kind of potential she has.
Well, I was talking with No Regret last week, and
I saw that.
Yeah, and in my interview with him, we had talked about how Last time she played, she really threw her games versus innovation because she wasn't playing with sound because the white noise was giving her like a migraine. So
Oh, really?
her playing with the white noise and having the game sound on like so loud was really affecting like her concentration and was also giving her a headache. But this time around, Jake was saying she's really been practicing more and she's been getting used to the white sound or the white noise. So this time she will be playing with sound. So she definitely won't be playing off with those nukes. Was it Keen? I thought it was an innovation. Maybe it was Keen. It was a Terran player for sure. I thought it was innovation.
I don't remember. But awesome. Okay. Yeah, maybe you can condition yourself to play with the white noise.
Yeah, she's been practicing with it. So, and obviously playing without noise is a huge disadvantage. Whether it be the DT in your mineral line or a nuke. Or Nidus Worm, there's actually a lot you don't think about it when you play, but there's a lot of audio cues in the game. So apparently it was Keen. So my bad, I thought it was innovation. But yeah, a lot of audio cues. So hopefully, hopefully she gets it figured out.
And I just wanted to give my 2 cents to sort of. I think he really played well, and I hope he looked a little bit sad after he lost, but I mean he played very well and he got one of the maps.
Yeah,
I think he should be happy with himself. He's collecting experience.
Yeah, he's learned a lot and he's improved a lot. I think he was like 6.5 on Korea for ladder right now, so he's doing really well. And like I said, just to take a game off of SOS, and that game he won pretty convincingly. Like it wasn't.
Yes, he did.
So he did
through one attack after another.
Yeah. So he won handedly. So I give him a lot of credit. And like I said, I really want to see him come back and watch. I really hope that he keeps improving his skills because he's really, really good. So
I agree. But there's always hard work involved.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for taking the time to call in, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, looks like our guest is here, so I'm gonna bounce you out. But now my guest has showed up, so we'll talk to him. We'll see what he has to say.
Sure.
All right, thanks, man. All right, let's get Mal in here now. If he picks up here, I'm calling him. He's in the chat. Why? Just pick up, man. Come on, you come into chat, all fired and shit, and then you say you're not ready?
Alright.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? 1 second, 1 second.
Alright. Did you answer on your phone?
Fuck it, we gotta do it on the phone. Which is fine.
You're doing it from your phone?
But, yeah, fine, whatever. How do I turn the camera on? There you go.
Oh, God.
How do I make me big?
Flip it landscape.
There you go. What up, folks?
All right, I'm going to turn you down a little bit. You're pretty loud.
Sure, okay.
All right, let me know if that's better.
Sure, this is good.
Oh, man.
How you doing, everyone? Sorry, I got stuck in traffic jam, but I am now here. What's up?
Is he still too loud? I'll turn him down more.
Or just mute me. That's what the crowd wants. Just mute me.
Jeez. Why are you calling me from your phone? Why aren't you calling me from the computer?
I was trying.
Oh, God, then he cut out.
Apparently, I don't have Skype on my computer.
Do you have Discord?
I do?
Oh, I can just call you on Discord.
Is this working?
It is, but your camera's like vertical, and it's really triggering everyone.
Okay, well, why don't I do this? Does that?
No, now you're just sideways.
Hold on.
There you go. That
Am I
worked.
just sideways?
Now it worked.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. There you go. All
Right. Well, make sure you're watching the stream though, because when we do the top 10, you'll need to be able to see for when we do that section.
Yeah. My computer's over there.
All right. Cool. All right. So what we were talking about before you joined, I covered the WCS groups and qualifiers. So we kind of covered, who's qualified like thus far. The only qualifiers that are left are Latin America, and then we'll probably next week we'll have like our full groups. So then we'll be able to kind of do like a preview of like the actual brackets and stuff.
Okay. Latin America is gonna be major.
Well, he'll be playing from Korea.
And that's it.
No, I think I gotta look now. Hang on 1 second. Well, no, I think they changed it this year. I think Latin America gets, maybe they get 2, but I want to say they got more slots this year.
Oh, really? Okay, then I'm gonna add Cham on it.
Yeah,
there you go.
I think Cham's gonna get through.
Cham, Kaiser, Major. There you go. Those are your 3.
That's who I like, but yeah, I don't know if no, they only get 2. So I think Kelazur for sure, but I don't know if Major's playing from Korea. Who knows?
Yeah, he's gonna bitch and whine about the leg.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll figure its way out there.
Yeah, he definitely will. He'll be there. He might go through Open Cup, but he'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once we get that bracket next week, like I was saying, we'll be able to do a preview for that. And then I was just going over, we just covered groups A and B for GSL. We're talking about those matches. So we're just starting to talk about Friday's group, Group C. And that is going to be, let's see, let me pull it back up. It's Rogue, Billowy.
GSL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Rogue, Billowy, Scarlet, and Alive. So who do you think is getting out in that group?
Well, obviously Rogue. Rogue's been grinding hard.
Well, he's also BlizzCon champion. So.
Well, that means nothing because the entire meta after all that meta change or whatever game change, I don't think you can really say that being the Blizzard or BlizzCon champion has anything to do with the advancement. But because the Ray Zerg is still doing strong and he's still doing fine. If I'm not mistaken, he should still be at the number 1 in ladder. So I wouldn't imagine him to have lost any forms since then. Also, it's good that he's with Jinair, right? Jinair, he's staying with his teammates, with the team house, and lucky for him, he doesn't get to stop practicing.
Right.
So I could see him doing very well. Obviously, first person to get knocked out would be Alive. If not, he'll be the second one for sure.
Really? Oh yeah. Well, so I was saying I think Billowy's the odd man out for sure.
He's a Protoss, right?
What?
He's Protoss.
Billowy, yeah.
Yeah, and who's the other one?
It's Alive and Scarlet.
Scarlet. Ooh. I wonder if Sasha has changed completely over to Protoss.
No, she'll be playing Zerg.
She has been debating for a while. Now, I remember from WCS Montreal, she was supposed to have played. So she registered as Zerg or Protoss.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too bad that because of the matchups, she didn't get to play Protoss on stage. But I know her Protoss is really good too.
Yeah.
So I mean, seeing the current meta, if it's not against Alive, I could probably see her play Protoss here and there. I don't know if it's allowed by the rules for GSL. So I guess in the end it would be Rogue 1, Billowy 2.
You think so?
I think that's just a safe. I think that's a safe bet. I mean, if any of you guys out there are making esports bets, I would bet on that. But obviously, as a Canadian, I will always be cheering for Sasha. We don't have a lot of representative other than her.
Well, Jake's there too, so you can always cheer for him.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But wow, I can't believe you're counting out Alive. I actually think it'll come. I agree. Rogue's coming first. Rogue is first.
There's no doubt.
But I think Scarlet's coming second easily, with the chance that Alive upsets Scarlet. And I think Billowy's coming. I think Billowy's coming last. I think Billowy's he's like a round of 32, or he's he's barely code S. And I'm not even like trying to. I'm like not trying to talk shit because like he's way better than I am. But like he's like he plays in like online cups. Like, but he's never.
It is what it is.
Yeah, he's never had like good results.
He's always in code S, or at lowest he's in code A at the highest level. But he's one of those guys. I don't know how many of the viewers watch Major League Baseball, but if you do follow that, baseball has a lot of tiers, right? You have your majors, and then you got 5 to 6 different teams of minors. You will always have those guys in AAA minor, which is the highest level of minor, that are always going to be one of those guys that will always be on a bus for the major, like I don't know, like a road trip or whatever.
Right.
But they're always kind of guy who will always be there, but I feel like he'd be a kind of player that would just never quite make it through.
Right.
So while I think your predictions are bold, or maybe mine's even bolder, but just because of the matchups and the current metas right now, with the lack of, I guess, progress on the Terran side since the change of the game, I think it's going to be really tough for Alive to actually make it through. I do agree. There is a chance that Scarlet could make it through. I think this time it's actually pretty legit.
Yeah.
But
she's going to be playing with sound. We talked to Jake. She's not going to play without sound this time. So
yeah,
I think her odds are good. I think they are good this time.
Yeah. But if I were to bet, I'd probably bet on some Korean guy.
Some Korean guy.
Some faceless Korean guy. I'd bet on that.
Well, speaking of faceless Korean, when they announced the groups, apparently Billowy is going by like his given name now. So like in the group, instead of listing as Billowy, it was like Kim Do Kong, and I was like, I was like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, is this just like someone that's just like a code A?
Faceless Korean.
Yeah, but like I was like, who the fuck is this? Because like I've never heard of this person. And then I click on it, I'm like, oh, it's just Billowy. What the fuck? So
yeah,
he was literally like the faceless Korean at that point.
I think all Koreans go through that phase. I don't want to say all, but like most of the Koreans, you actually see like a lot of the Koreans that are like subpar major level. Mm-hmm. They will always go through that phase where they decide to just use their name.
You're right.
Because it has been done in the past through, Eyes of Jaedong and stuff like that. We've seen Sierra use his first name before, just as Kangwon, and he's been bouncing back and forth. Who else?
What about MC? Because MC kind of just always uses his initials.
MC is his name. That's his name. Yeah, that's his initial.
Right. But like,
and Jaedong always went with JD.
JD, right?
What was his other ID that he used before?
Jaedong?
There was something. Yeah, Jaedong had another ID back in the Brood War days that I always made fun of. It was something corny.
Let's see.
Can't remember off the top of my head. I don't even know if it's on Wikipedia. Maybe it is.
It should be. Everything's on Wikipedia. Nicknames. Nope. Alternate IDs. Dayoung Kin.
I don't even know what that is.
Can't remember. That was one of his IDs. I don't know.
Hold up. Let me check this. Wikipedia.
What's up, Sir Doken? Welcome to the stream, my dude.
What is up, chat?
We're having a little bit of a call-in show before you joined.
Yeah, I heard through. What was that? What was that about?
We're just buying time.
Oh, nice, attaboy.
I'm a good I'm a good vamper. I'm good at coming up with shit on the spot.
You need that. You need that, especially when you get a guest who isn't particularly known for showing up on time and shit.
Right.
Good stuff out for sure.
Happens more often than you think. But
a lot of familiar IDs in the chat. What up? Hey, do you normally get 14 viewers, or do you only 14 today because
exam here.
What's that?
Do you normally get 14 viewers, or is it because you don't have anyone more fascinating than I?
Fascinating. No. Yeah, you're. It's because your camera's godlike. That's why.
That's right. Everyone's having headaches. Earthquake! Earthquake!
No, my normal co-host was in charge of getting another Korean guest this week, and he decided, and he wasn't going to tell me until Monday that he wasn't going to be around today, and that he didn't have time to get a guest. So I was left scrambling. So I didn't.
Is it C?
I didn't catch it. What'd you say?
What's your normal host? Who is that?
Seeker.
Seeker. Right.
Yeah.
How's he doing? Last time I was on this show, he was in the hospital.
He's not in the hospital anymore, but I haven't talked to him since last year. So he's been AFK for quite a while now.
Hope everything's all right. Maybe he's taking the fat ass break.
Something like that. I don't know.
Start of 2018. Good for him.
Something like that. Man, you just need to. Okay, I think you need to hop on Discord. This phone stuff's not working, man. It's bad.
Do I have you on Discord? I rarely use Discord.
There you go. I linked it. I linked it in the chat. Just click on my Discord link.
This takes me to fucking. Oh, there it is.
And then hang up on here. Hang up on the phone.
You, bro.
And then
you.
What?
All right. No. I got it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then join the general chat. Then I'll add you into the other one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can figure this out. Yeah, I know. I just want to get him in here so I can see him. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Oh my gosh. Oh, good show, boys. Good show. Yes. Where were you guys when I was taking Collins? All right, here we go. All right, there we go. What's that? I had no idea. Yeah, they just added the video here. What mic are you using now? Now you're really quiet.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
What are you screaming?
Now I'll need to turn you up all the way.
No. This should be good. No?
Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, perfect.
Yeah, okay. I changed the mic to the puny webcam mic.
Okay, cool. Let me just do
As long as it works.
Let me do a screen cap on your camera here, and then. Oh wait, does this not work? Can you not? What the fuck? Can you not screen cap out of Discord?
Me?
No,
Oh. Yeah. What are you asking me for?
What the fuck? Oh wait, disable streamer mode. I bet I can now. Nope. Okay, well, that's fucked. That's like the what? What the fuck? I guess you.
That's it. That's it. That's all you get, folks.
Hang
To
on.
watch this face, it costs apparently.
Let me. What if I do this? Hang on.
My face is copyright infringement. You can't just use them online.
Red Bull owns
Not
your
like this.
Red Bull owns your face.
I wish.
Okay. Apparently, what the fuck? Why does this work?
I heard you wanted me to guess your show, so you decided to put me and me and me. What?
I don't understand.
Inception! I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying.
I don't know why this works. What are you clicking? Stop clicking whatever you're clicking.
Sorry.
It's super loud. It's okay.
Jesus.
All right. Well, I don't know why this isn't doing what I want it to do.
Well, at least, folks, you get to digest more.
I'm gonna try one more thing here real quick.
Ta-da!
It doesn't make sense that I can't.
And you can't see me!
Doesn't make sense that I couldn't screen cap you.
Or just bring me in front of Skype. I don't know. I have no idea.
It doesn't work. It does work like that for Skype, but apparently it does not work like that for Discord. If I run that over there, it just gives me a black box. It shows me nothing. Like, I have no idea why. It shows my mouse, like my mouse over your face, but it just shows you as a black screen. Like, I have no idea why this is crazy. All right, sorry guys. Well, whatever.
Sorry, folks. That's all you get.
All right. Well, that's okay. We're almost.
Wait, was Skype not working?
What? You didn't.
Skype wasn't working?
On your you were super laggy on your phone.
Oh, because I was moving around so much.
Yeah. At least the audio quality is better. I can hear you fine now, so at least that's good. But anyway.
All right, what else are we talking about?
Let's
talk about Trump.
No. This isn't the Mao podcast.
What? I legit. Okay, all right. What is it with Americans not wanting to talk about your favored?
Okay, well, this is
president.
This is Starcraft show / podcast. So that's just not the topic of today. Maybe another time.
What about Kim Jong-un trying to bring nuke meta?
What if we talk about Group D? How about we talk about Group D GSL? That sounds good, right?
Ah, you bore. All right, hold up. GSL. Let me see who's in there. How do I search? How do I work this out?
So Group D is
Codes. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you. It's Sue, No Regret, Zest, and Bunny. Woo! Ooh, I feel bad for No Regret.
I think No Regret gets out. I think he's got this.
Ooh. But with his white privilege.
I think he's got it. I
mean, go Canada. There you go.
I think he can do it, man. I think he's got it.
Oh man, Zest is pretty good. So is Sue, and the fact that Bunny made it to Code S. He ain't joking. He's got some mean jobs these days. Yeah. I know everyone's looking to Maru and innovation to figure out how Terran is played, but man, Bunny's been grinding. He's been grinding for a long time, and he's got his shines in 2017. So it could very well carry over. And I know Bunny. How many? On which qualifier did he make it out?
Well, you know, Bunny's got a new team now too. Bunny's playing
Starcraft. Oh, yeah. Titan EX1.
Yeah, so he's playing for them. He's playing for them now. So I think.
What is this team? I've never heard of.
They're brand new. It's like a tech company in Korea, and they just picked up a bunch of players.
Jacqueline Bunny. See, there is a reason why he was picked. Because I mean, there's so many other players in the team list. I mean, just to name a few, there's Dark, Sue, right? Innovation. Yeah. All you guys are still out of team.
Some of those players are cheaper than others, though, right?
That is true. But why Bunny out of everyone?
Well, I think they wanted a squad, right? So they wanted a squad. They wanted some people that still had
Dude, just have trust, have belief.
never. You can't. You
Picked him
can't
because
no,
there is
no.
a reason.
You can't
He's
trust.
been playing
You
very
can't
well.
trust. Nobody trusts trust. That's why when they did VSL Team League, no one wanted to pick him. He was like the kid who eats paste when you're playing dodgeball. He was the
course.
He was the last pick.
Oh, did I tell you about that?
I don't think,
The water polo dodgeball thingy
no, what was
or
that?
ultimate frisbee? Oh, that was back in Shanghai. So it was basically SKT T1 versus CJ plus Mel.
Okay.
Because on my team it was Trust, Bonnie, Hero, and me, and on the other side it was Sue, Innovation, Dark. Who was the other ex? Oh no! And then what's his name? Stats was on their team. It was SKT and KT versus CJ plus Mel. So knowing, I don't know if you ever met Trust, but Trust he's pretty tall for a Korean guy.
No,
Typically speaking, generally speaking, I'm one of the tall guys. But in that group, it was Innovation's taller than me, Sue's taller than me, and then so is Trust. So it was like two tall kids in both the team. So I thought, all right, we got Trust. So all we got to do. So we didn't have frisbee, but we wanted to play something like ultimate frisbee. So instead, we had this like a foam to help you, I guess, learn swim. So instead, we started flicking that around.
Okay.
And Trust, even with all his long reach and his height, he had absolutely zero athleticism,
Zero skill.
zero skill, and he was absolutely trash. And you're right, we didn't trust with any of our plays.
You can't trust.
No, I can't do that.
I can't. I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's a robot, but I can't see Innovation being very athletic. Is he?
He tries though.
He tries hard.
He tries. He
Okay.
tries.
He just doesn't seem like he can get around very well. Like I know he's like
No, he's the type of guy. Say, he'd actually be, if he knows how to play basketball, which I don't know. I haven't had a chance to confirm that, but he'd be a great basketball player. One of those kids that just sort of sneaks into right under the hoop,
sure.
and then you just get the ball, and then all of a sudden, like, what the fuck? And then he just makes baskets. He's that kind of guy.
Okay.
He doesn't really seem to be doing much, but he's always at places where he should be.
Gotcha. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
No wonder why he's so good at that. Or Starcraft.
Yeah,
I was gonna say basketball.
basketball. You can't.
No,
You
he's
can't.
got fucking flimsy arms. I doubt he can. No.
All right, but for real, in this group, I think it's pretty open and shut for Group D. I think it's got to be Sue Zest. I don't see. Bunny.
Oh, I was thinking Zest and Sue. The other way around. But it will definitely be Bunny on the final round.
Yeah. Yeah, for the up down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, maybe I don't. You think Jake could beat Sue? You think he could ZVZ him into submission?
No.
I honestly think he could, because like the thing with Sue is Sue does not play well as a defensive player, because Sue's the one that's always bringing the aggression, right? Like that's how Sue likes to play. He loves to be aggressive. He really falls behind when he's playing defensively. I think if Jake really and obviously Jake's gonna all in him, like he's gonna 13-12 for sure. But I think if Sue's not ready for it, or if I don't know, if he just doesn't think he's gonna do it or whatever. I don't
know if that's a right mentality. See, if I was in No Regrets shoe, knowing that Sue's gonna take either of his stats, either he's gonna be super aggressive early on and just try to end the game without dropping the sweat, either that or he's gonna go super conservative. Then I think the direction that Jake should take is to be the defensive player. Try to bounce off everything, play conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, these Korean guys, their micros are at best. And obviously, so are the macros, but their micro games really on point.
Right.
And especially when you do early all-ins or something like that, you basically try to out micro them. And it's really tough, especially ZVZ too. There's obviously if you go to Ling Ling, like Zergling Baneling kind of composition early on, and try to make the opponent make a mistake. I mean, that's a way you can win it, but that's also a way you could throw a game.
Yeah,
So,
but that's like what Jake's known for. Like that's his specialty. Like I would say like he almost has like the most experience doing that because of how consistently he does that in ZVZ.
but if it's really well known, would Sue kind of have some sort of game plan against that?
Okay, but
is playing to your strength is not the smartest idea.
Do you know the NA player Printf?
What?
Do you know the NA player Printf? Have you ever heard of Printf?
No.
So Printf is he is solely a cannon rusher. He cannon rushes every game, every matchup, no matter what.
No soul.
And yet he still gets into GM. So you know it's coming. Yeah. You play him and you know it's coming, but it doesn't even matter because he's
not playing against. But he's not playing against the pros.
Yeah, he does though.
He's not playing against the pros.
But he does though.
Yeah, but getting to a GM. I mean, how many skilled players that are out there in North America?
But here's what I'm saying though. Like even though he does it every game, like you know it's coming, he still fucking wins.
Yeah,
like you know it's coming. You think you could?
Most of the time, he's playing against people like myself or just an everyday Joe, right? So we don't know how to defend against it. We don't play against cannon rushes all the time. But these guys know the pros are different. There's a reason why Printf is not in GSL or has not won real legit championships.
It's because he's never been to Korea. I don't know.
Would never make it. Not with that kind of fucking attitude. Jesus, learn how to play a game. I'm just doing cannon rushes all day long.
Now calling Printf out, man. I don't know, man.
But obviously, I wouldn't be able to play against. I wouldn't be good. I'd lose in the draw.
Okay. Regardless of who wins, though, versus Sue, no regret, I think it's going to be a really entertaining game to watch. I think that's going to be the most entertaining series of this. Are going to be the no regret games. He's super entertaining to watch. So.
I'm just going to disagree for the sake of disagreeing because everybody literally hates Zerg versus Zerg because of its non-stop boredom. I'm sure it's going to be interesting to watch, but I don't think it's going to be the match of the day. Kind of. I don't think it's going to be that exciting.
Yeah. No, I mean the match.
It's just because it's Zerg versus Zerg. I don't care.
The match of the yeah.
I'm not saying this because the opponent is no regret. Like it could be Sue versus Stark. It'd still be just fucking as boring as it could.
Yeah, I think the best match of that will be Zest versus Sue, because then we can see really how good Zest is now, if he's really back on top like everyone's saying he is. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, there also is a chance that Zest might not do this on purpose, but there is a chance that Bunny could win,
right,
and then lose to Sue, and then lose to Zest.
Is there a chance that Zest takes off his shirt during the stream, though?
No.
0%?
0%.
Damn.
Nada.
If GSL wanted Overwatch League numbers, that's all they would have to do. Let me tell you, man.
What? Zest stripping?
Yeah, dude. Everyone wants to see Zest topless.
I mean, let me tell you, I've seen him topless. It's not as hot as you think it is. Unless he's been beefing in the last couple of years that I haven't seen him for, but I don't know.
Zest is a beefcake, man.
I don't know. I'd rather see other people topless than Zest. I gotta be honest with you.
I believe you. Okay.
I won't name, but
Right. All right. Well, let's get the show back on the road. Let's get reorganized. Let's get back into what we're talking about. So, yeah. So I think it'll be Sue, Zest in any order. I think Zest could come out first. I think Sue could come out first. It just depends, But I think it could go either way.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be Zest and then Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, did I say Zest and then Sue? Or
yeah.
Sue?
No, you said Zest then Sue.
Okay. I think it'd be more interesting to actually watch if it was Zest and then Sue. Or no, Sue and then Zest. Okay. Jesus Christ. All right, let me just rephrase this so that Nobody's confused. I think it'll be more interesting if it's Sue and then Zest.
Right.
Because that could mean that there's going to be some sort of an epic match between Zest versus Bunny.
Right.
And I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that would be
Cam
good.
versus Protoss.
We'll see what Bunny's got. Obviously, I was saying this before that with like with Leenock, but with whenever someone gets signed to a new team, I always feel like they play a little bit better, just because like they're playing for that team, like they want to prove like, hey, like this is why you picked me up, like like this is why you got me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes there's situations where they over practice,
Yeah.
give away all their strategies online. They do even worse.
It's funny too because all the new Titan X1 people qualified for Codes round of 32, but they weren't announced until round of 32. So I wonder if they're like, you're only on the team if you get round of 32. If you can't make 32, you're we're not even, the contract's null. Like unless you qualify.
I wonder what the contract is though, because during BlizzCon there was a very interesting situation where all the formal SK Telecom players were
with ballistics.
Yeah, and then it was just for the tournament.
Yeah, it was just for that. This is different as far as
which I think is fucking it's literally riding on a cock just for that time being because you're lonely. I don't know. They saw an opportunity, went for it. I think it's a really dick move.
I think it's shitty at ballistics. I think if you believe in those players, like then you sign those players. You don't just like
don't fucking dick ride them. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, if they're blacks, then maybe there's a pleasure in dick riding. I don't know. There's 3 Asian boys, skinny as shit, 0 athleticism. What are you doing, ballistics?
Okay, but no. So when we talked with No Regret last week, he actually looked at the contract because I guess they were down at. The way Jake described it was kind of weird. Like the reps were down there at the studio, right, with the contracts, and like, hey, if you guys want to look at these, you can come look at them. So like Jake like looked at it, like he actually saw one, and so like what it was, he said is it's really so it's like a lower monthly salary, but then maybe it was like even a higher monthly salary. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the median the salary was like a median, right? Like it was like average, right, for salary. But if you won, it was like a hefty amount went back into the team. So like the team's gonna like if you win, the team's making money off you.
Yeah, I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. I just don't get the whole idea of it. And that's how esports has been ran for long. As far as I've known.
You don't get the idea of the players making the team money?
Team making players money.
Well, the players make money off themselves in Starcraft, right? Because it's a 1v1. So
yeah, but if they win
you mean
significant amount of prize money, the team takes a portion of it, which I don't understand.
Well, I think it depends like what the team's using that money for, right?
It doesn't fucking matter. Well, no, it doesn't matter.
No, I'll give you an example. So I have Dank Shrine Pro, right? So I have three pro players that play for my team.
Yeah.
And if they win over an X dollar amount, then a percentage of those winnings do go back into the team. But I have it laid out of what that money goes towards because it gets pumped back into the team. I use that for like further team travel and stuff to like just further help us. So like it doesn't go like
but
it doesn't go into Toast's fucking pocket. It goes back into the team.
I understand that. And I know there are some people out there like yourself who are going to be using that money back into the team and help funding for those players to excel in their esports ventures. But the reality is if you look at it from a traditional sports perspective,
right?
No sports teams take any check from their players earning. If any player wins any significant tournaments, they get a bonus on top of that. If you win the World Series, everybody in the team, everybody in the roster gets a bonus.
Right.
So if they win, if team wants to make some sort of money in order to stay alive and invent for business, what they should do is they should market these players. Try to come up with some sort of other merchandises or some sort of other products they could sell to revenue off of that to pour back into the team. Right. And I know it's incredibly difficult, especially in esports. But
here's
the fact that people don't actually try, that just really ticks me off. Because I know, like, I've met you in person. I know what you're like. I've worked with you on this show and on your other stuff, and I heard your dream goals in esports and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to get out of. So I feel like I have more personal ties to you. So I understand that you're not like that, but there has been so many other sketchy ass
Right.
motherfuckers. They're saying they're running esports and they take the portion, they fucking bam, they're gone.
Right.
So
So
if they actually wanted to make money, invest in something else, try to figure it out within obviously the boundary of esports, but try to reach out to the fans otherwise.
right. Here's one of the things when it comes to like other sports, so like regular sports like baseball and basketball, right? Because okay, obviously like both people pay their teams, right? So you pay your players, right? The esports teams, they pay their players, NBA pays the team pays their players, right? But where does that team get its money from? They get it from ticket sales. They get it from merch. All that shit. That's something we don't have, because literally we don't pay to watch our tournaments unless we go to them. But even then, I don't even think that a portion of our ticket money from like DreamHack goes to Starcraft.
Yes. So, which is also another question. Why? And Overwatch is run completely in other direction. I could be mistaken. Like I may not. I don't know a lot of the other scenes, but I always hate saying anything bad about the organizers, especially or the developers or whoever that's throwing these tournaments, because I know their heart's in the right way. Mm-hmm. But from my limited information of how Overwatch League is ran, is that they've taken money from the team to bid as if it's like Formula One. And together they came up with these number of amount of dollars. I think it was like $20 million or something across 7 teams. And now their 7 teams are playing. Shouldn't even be that way. That doesn't even make any sense. From what I know, only sports that runs and operates in that kind of sense is Formula One. And that is not from the teams or the manufacturer themselves, but it's the tracks that's paying that money to be part of that calendar year.
Right.
But instead, Blizzard decides to go in a route where teams are coming up with money to run these tournaments. So then my question is, what exactly is your role in this entire league? Same thing with StarCraft. What it should be is that Blizzard, what they could easily do, I mean, it'd be nice if it's done, but, all these monies that the fans pay to watch online or and offline, all these money collectively, they could collect that and then they could redistribute it to the teams, the players, not as a prize pool. If they really want to maintain a structure and some sort of ecosystem of StarCraft itself, they can't just, they gotta take the money and pour it back. Obviously, from Blizzard's perspective, it doesn't make sense. It's probably not a good business for them.
Right.
So then, what is DreamHack really doing, right? I guess all they're doing is taking the Blizzard's running the tournaments.
They're just organizing. Because here's the thing. We've basically, obviously, besides Blizzard themselves, obviously from them funding it directly, we're funding it through War Chest, right? Like, we're funding our own scene by paying into it, which is fine. Like, that's the same as like buying tickets to go to, the football game or the baseball game. Like, that's in essence this, a similar thing, right? Like, if I'm in Minnesota and I go to a Vikings game and I pay tickets to go see the Vikings, the team gets a portion of those ticket sales, right? Like, they get a portion of those sales. Like, that's the same thing with when you buy War Chest, X percentage goes towards the WCS prize pool. So like, we're directly, influencing our own scene. But yeah, like when we say that,
so what good does a prize pool do? At the end of the day, it's one person walking away with the money, you rest of them with fucking nothing. Well, Katowice is always ran as $100,000 or $200,000 tournament. If they make more, then try to make some sort of ecosystem that works instead of just piling up onto the total prize pool and just make it grander. Just because it's expensive or the prize pool is higher, it's not going to relate to more people invested in watching the tournaments. It's going to be the same people that put up the prize money that's watching. There's no new people coming into the scene to watch or become a pro or be interested in sponsoring a player or a team. They should take the additional $200,000 that they made and do something like what all other sports do, what Riot does. All in traditional sports, those money get distributed to the teams and the players, and that's how teams stay alive and players keep their professional dreams alive. What Riot does is they pay minimum salary to every single player that is registered to the roster if the teams can't pay for it. right?
I mean that would be great, but then we have a problem with like what do you consider to be a team, right? Like, are we giving Sloth Esports? We're giving their worst player on their roster, an extra $1,000 bonus at the end of the year just for being on a roster, though.
No, so
And-
come up
and-
with some sort of system where in a year,
But what
In a year.
what about innovation? He's not getting anything. He's not on a team.
so he doesn't get anything. I don't know. Then figure out something like the Kespa from. Obviously, it deviated a lot, but system like Kespa is to be so that it's all players association, right? It's for the benefit of the players.
I think StarCraft is weird, right? Because we look at it when we look at it like this, and we talk about teams. We talk about it like it's a fucking team sport. It's not. StarCraft is more like boxing. You don't have fucking boxing teams. You have individual sponsors for individual people. They have their own fucking sponsorships. They have their own. They are their team. There's no team. They're their own brand, right? You know what I mean? Like. I think that's how they should really look into it.
But if you look at it in UFC instead of boxing, because I don't know, maybe because I don't know a lot of boxing. Boxing is not.
Well, UFC, whatever. It's the same thing.
UFC is a little different. That a gym sponsor. You can look at it from this way. It is an individual tournament. It is an individual competition. Where UFC, it collects money from fans, investors, whatnot. You make these prize pool. You give it to
put it on pay-per-view. Charge
that
$100
players
to
take
watch
the
it.
money. Yes, and then there are other gyms that has multiple players. For instance, Stun Gun, Donghyun Kim, and the Korean Zombie. They used to play in the same gym. So this gym is sponsoring these players, and although it's not really promoted as much other than a couple wardings here and there in their trunks, but oft times it's the gym that is making other exposure money through sponsoring these two players. So in a way, both of the Kims in UFC, or the Kim and Chung in UFC, they were part of Monster Gym team. Even though they don't participate together,
right?
They still play under one brand. It could be done. The same could be done in Starcraft,
right?
Right. So, and how do you filter? Who gets that kind of paycheck from the access money, from the crowdfunded money, from the war chest? Well, you could come up with some sort of system. Obviously, I'm just spitballing and just ranting over here. But you can say something like
part of it too is we have such an antiquated system. Like I feel like the system we use for it is really outdated. I really think that it really needs to be redone. Like how we run teams and how how you talk about how the money's divided. Like why not too like that war chest money? Why not even have a portion of that go back into like grassroots tournaments like Cheesadelphia, Kings of the North, or shit like that, right? Invest in some of that.
I think, but StarCraft has fallen so far off being mainstream. I think at this point, what's really more crucial is to make sure there is a sustainable pro scene first, and then work their way down. Like right now, let's say all these GSL players that we love to watch, Innovation, Lena, Solar, Creator, SOS, whatever. If all these players were to all of a sudden go into retirement, I guarantee you the pro scene is done. There's not a lot of new players, new up-and-coming players. So at least try to maintain what is there. So I don't know. I think the system you come up with is maybe look at it from like a year perspective. If this player has made to GSL or any of the premium tournament once, then I don't know. You get the minimum salary, something like $25,000. That's at least it's not enough to make a living off of, but it's something that you can do. So have a trial year in the first year, and whoever made it, the year after, you give them an annual salary. Obviously, don't give them all the money because then they're gonna stop practicing, or they're gonna go way over their heads. So now divide that into 12-month period or the bi-weekly period and give them a check, so that the year after they can do that. So run a 1 year of trial run as if it's sort of like a minor league camp where you don't make any money, you don't make a lot, but then afterwards you start growing the system up and up, right? So just because, let's say, like, I don't know, in your pro team you said you have 3 players.
Yep.
In a very in the perfect world, all 3 gets real good salaries. They could live off of and devote rest of their lives in playing StarCraft as long as they can.
Right.
But right now with what they're making, it's really difficult to do that. Hence, the decrease in the skill value in the games that we see. It's not. Yes, games are still exciting, but actually, if you compare it to years before, where there are a lot of people dedicated 100% of their time in practicing, but now they have to go to school for future, they have to make some money elsewhere to pay for the rents and whatnot, and everyone's skill level is coming down. You see the exact same thing in Brood War. You look at Brood War tournaments that are run right now, it's not as good, it's not as clean, it's not as neat as what it used to be. And although everybody says yes, Brood War is up and coming, it's again, and it's blossoming again and again. If you actually look at the matches, it's trash. And I feel like if this scene, the current scene that we have right now, if this isn't maintained and if this falls off, there's no coming back for StarCraft 2.
I don't. Here's the thing, though, right? Like StarCraft 1, still popular, still being played, still has players that are making a living off of playing it, right? StarCraft 2, it's going to be the same thing. Like, we just released free to play. We just got the war chest, and within like the first month and a half, we already topped the $250,000 goal for the year. So like, there's and I don't know if you knew this. So I was at we were both at BlizzCon, but I got invited to the community summit, and TB said it, so he's the one that broke the contract, not me. But we saw the average active user base for StarCraft 2. 1.8 million. That's the active average user base per month. 1.8 million.
That's actually pretty good.
That's better than we thought it was.
Yeah, but compared to other poppin' games,
bro. But here's the thing: over the course, like we saw it. We saw it since like the launch of Wings at like 4 million till now, right? And to still be at 1.8 at the top, being at 4 Wings of Liberty 2014, to be at about half of that still this many years later, and now launching into free to play, it got bumped up. Maybe not a ton, but maybe even up to like 2 million. Like we added, a couple more, like 100,000 into that user base. We're consistent. It was consistent. You can see like there were spikes at each release, but during those downtimes, it was completely consistent. The people that are playing this game are still playing this game.
But you don't think it's more of a release buff?
No, because you saw the spikes, but
yeah, it's a spike. But does it spike up? Does it plateau or does it come down?
No. So like I said, at Wings, it was like 4 million during launch, right? For like the first couple months, like 4 million, right? Like trending up, and then it went down to like 3 million, right? And then like straight across, right?
Yeah.
And then another spike at HOTS, and then down a little bit, and then the same thing, a little spike, and then but it's been consistent. Like if you looked at here, I'll fucking draw you a picture of what it looked like. It looked like this.
How are you gonna draw me a picture?
It looked like this. Can you see this? Look at the stream.
Okay.
That's what it looked like.
Hold on.
This is really shitty, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, so all I see is a gradual decrease of player pool.
No, but
I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but if that's what it is, then we keep losing people.
Well, no matter what, you're gonna have a decline. I mean, look at the NFL. The NFL's in an all-time lowest viewer ratings, right? Like they did complete shit this year, but they still made millions and millions of dollars. That doesn't matter. But the important thing that I'm trying to get across here, though, is even though it's been so many years and the game has been declining, our active user base is still 1.8 million. That's still a pretty large user base. And like I said, for us to be able to fund War Chest within like a month and a half of its release, because only a portion of the money we pay for War Chest even goes to that. I don't know what percentage it is, but only a percentage actually goes to that. So to get that to 250,000 is pretty fucking impressive to me.
I just want to say one point, not against you, but I saw somebody say something about Mal doesn't understand that StarCraft 2 isn't as big anymore on the chat. And just to elaborate on what I was saying is that is exactly why I feel like Blizzard should try to maintain the system they have right now and then grow from there instead of just growing prize pool and hoping there are other people interested in getting into the scene because the prize pool is so high.
Well, hang on. So I think what they are doing is that's exactly what they are doing, right? Because that's what the war chest is, right? Like even though like we're paying for that ourselves, they're getting those that are committed to the game into supporting it, because Dota does the same thing with the compendium every year. It's the same fucking thing. Like the players, they pay for it, right? We get rewards and we pay into the esport that we love. That's fine. But going free to play, and then once because we know for sure this year's done, and I guarantee we're gonna have StarCraft in 2019. Once they see that, okay, it's consistent, we can keep paying this out, right? Then if we're going above, what we're hitting, because everyone knows, like, yep, it's this tournament, it's that here, we're always getting this much money, right? Then they can start looking and even growing the scene in other avenues, right? Like whether it's like with cross promotion and shit. Like look at fucking Heroes, dude. Heroes was dead as a doornail until they went to the 2.0 revamp. Now fucking Heroes is doing better than StarCraft 2 sometimes. Like you look at their viewership, their average viewership, it's more than ours on Twitch sometimes. So like
because Blizzard is pouring money not just on the prize pool, but with other means of support, as in opening more overseas tournament, more foreign tournaments,
right? Exactly.
Players to the scene and showing these players to everyone in the world, introducing these players, the scene to the people who've never seen. When was the last time we've ever seen any esports done in Brazil? When was the last time we've ever seen any tournaments done in, I guess, Asia?
We had WSG in Brazil last year.
Yeah, so now they're doing that, but they've been doing much more actively with Heroes of the Storm versus Heroes of the Storm, right? Yeah, Heroes of the Storm versus what they're doing with StarCraft. With StarCraft, I don't know. I actually feel offended on what Blizzard is doing to StarCraft. I don't feel like they're solving any problems. But if anything, they're just creating more. They're coming up with great ideas. They have a lot of potential, but I just don't feel like they're using those right resources to the places where they should be focusing on.
Okay, well, so what do you feel that we should be focusing on then? So you say
infrastructure? We have absolutely zero infrastructure in StarCraft 2. We have no infrastructure left for StarCraft 2. The reason why Brood War did so much better than any other esports, especially when esports was a fucking alien thing to everybody in the world, was because there was a set infrastructure. As of 2016, we've lost all of that infrastructure.
What infrastructure, Kespa?
There's no team, there's no growth, there is no player development, there is nothing.
So what about this? So we talked about this earlier, right? With Blizzard, or we talked about this with them taking that money and giving it to the teams, right? But the problem is there's not enough teams. So what if we did that? What if we did it? If Blizzard started their own team league, right? So separate from, like, what if we had WCS Team League, right? Like, let's say that they sponsored that, right? WCS Team League. Any team that competes in WCS Team League gets money for just competing. Like, there's a total prize pool, but every team that gets registered and has like the right amount of players or whatever.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. That is actually against what I'm saying, because you can't just do that. You can't not have some sort of filtering system and just open a tournament and give money to the team. How do you trust that this team is going to use the resources given back to the players? Well, you can't trust it. You're just asking for chaos at that point. So what I was saying is that if you do that, then if you give it to, let's say, I don't know, instead of players, let's say you give that money to the teams. Then teams can. There's so many skilled players that are not in any of the teams, and that's because nobody can really afford it.
Yeah, they want too much money.
It's difficult, or more like they need to make a living, but nobody can really afford it. Can you really say all these players ask for too much money when? I mean, my idea of too much money is when their value isn't. So let's say in any sort of job, right? In any sort of job, if you're asking for way above what you're worth, then I get it. But in esports, not a lot of people try to market what they have. During the Brood War days, that was done phenomenally well, right?
But only in Korea.
Only in Korea, yeah, but it was done really, really well. And
right.
All these players, all these teams, everybody made money because companies like KT, they would use Flash on their telephone commercials, on their baseball teams, or
that's just it. That's advertising. Don't you think that?
So the clothing brands. So the esports players are not being used to advertise their merchandises to the young fan base that there is out there. Nobody really does anything related to that, and you expect to make money off of the players doesn't really make any sense. Yes, you pay them salaries or whatever, but that's how it's done anyway. That's how you get them to represent. When Nike sponsored Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Marcus Stroman, whatnot, they don't make money from the players. They use those players in advertising. They make money.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that if then those money, let's say something like innovation, you've been on GSL, whatever, 3 times. So your salary is going to be, I don't know, per GSL, let's say it's $10,000. Next year, Blizzard is going to take their crowdfunded prize money and designate it to innovation. But
Right.
that money could somehow be tied to the team, so that the portion of that, let's say, I don't know, for easy math, 50% innovation takes. And team that takes on innovation takes 50% to help them pay innovation's salary off of whatever innovation has won. Then they could pour that money into it. Having innovation on your team allows you for better exposure. You could then hence go try to get some sort of sponsors and use innovation in promotional tools, videos, products associated with some sort of product, with clothing brands. Put them in some nice clothes than just team jersey. Have, I don't know, Nike, Mark, or Adidas, or whatever. And also sell jerseys. Come up with team merchandise so that team can make money on its own, and also from promotions from other sponsors, and with that.
Don't
Right? I don't know. I'm ranting too much. I know.
don't you also think though that part of the reason why Brood War was so successful in Korea is that it was also on TV? Like, it was just on TV. Like, that had to be part of it because it's literally broadcasted on where everyone can fucking see it. That's also the difference between any esport besides like Counter-Strike on like TBS like once in a blue moon for some reason. But
NFL did poor rating this year because everybody switched over from cable TV to other means of.
I understand that. I understand that. But obviously, like, but Brood War in Korea, like, that was when everyone had TV, right? Like, everyone was watching TV.
Yeah.
Like, the internet, more or less, the internet fucking sucked back then, right? Like,
No, it was trash.
you had to watch it on live television. But
Yeah.
But so do you think it's better to? Wouldn't it be better to market it then for StarCraft as a
on the national TV?
Well, not even okay. So I think that would be beneficial to market it on television.
Of course.
Now that it's
Of
free to
course.
play, I think that would be a wise investment for them to look into. But I just mean like I think like just buying ad space like for these other things like during Overwatch League, I think it would be great for them to advertise that StarCraft is free to play. Right? Like, have a fucking ad for that, right? Specifically.
Yeah, but those people are watching because they want to watch Overwatch, not because they want to know.
But that's great, but they might not know that StarCraft's free. It's still, exposure is
right,
exposure.
You're right. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be TV. I mean, I get what you're saying.
What I'm
nowadays,
saying, how can we advertise then? So, like, let's, like, if we want to really realistically grow StarCraft 2, we want to grow our scene, and I'm not asking for an answer, I'm just asking for an idea here. Like, what is an actual way that you think we could advertise to actually get people? Because we did the free to play on YouTube, or the free to play like on the launcher, that was good, and we had the YouTube commercials and the Twitch targeted commercials, right?
yeah.
But, like, what else? Like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more things that we can do.
I feel like the start should be with the organizers and developers, because I think it's stupid that Riot does their annual events during BlizzCon weekends. I think it's stupid that there are other tournaments running when there's TI running. They need to. It's sort of like, these organizers or these producers, they want to prove themselves that they're the best. There's 52 fucking weekends in a calendar year. There's not that many tournaments that needs to happen overlapping. First, like, set a rule that this weekend is going to be this tournament, whatever. Try to grow together as, first of all, as esports, as the entire brand. Now that everyone has so much easier accessing any personal Twitch streamer thingy or any tournaments, you can rewatch it. Back in the days, there's not even rebroadcast.
Right.
People still tuned in, right? Like, because, well, partially, I guess, because it's the only time they can watch now. But there's so many other means of social media. There's I guess Instagrams or YouTubes. Or there's Twitch. There's Africa TVs, or there's Sport TVs, or ESL does their endless restream of things. So there's so many ways fans can digest, use that, but also at the same time, like, try to grow all together instead of being like fucking rivals.
Well, don't you think?
I don't know. I don't even know if I make any sense right now.
Well, I just had another idea, pop into my head of a way that they could further advertise, and then also grow the scene is Blizzard investing directly into CSL for Starcraft, for the College Starcraft League.
Yeah.
Because we have Heroes of the Dorm. Heroes of the Dorm is huge, right? Like that's on ESPN. That's nationally televised. Why the fuck can't we get?
Which fails completely, but.
But that's where your recruiting starts. Though is like you have these kids.
Yeah, that's how you start. Yeah.
So, so I think them directly investing into that, while it might not show dividends right away, I think that's the best way because that's how you find new talent. That's how you recruit new talent, and that's how you gain exposure directly.
Yeah. And Blizzard used to. I don't know if they did this year, but they used to have some sort of Swedish national television broadcasting team come by during the week of BlizzCon, and they film and they basically go live all 2 days, something like that. They used to do that. I don't know if they still do it, but serving to just one country isn't enough. Back in the days, first time I went to BlizzCon and all these other WCG events, at least like you can't just I don't know why. I don't know, maybe it's a Twitch thing with their contract with Twitch, but showing only the contents through Twitch in one language with everybody else in other language streaming remotely from home, there's no production value in that.
Right.
I'll be honest. They want exposure, bring the casters. It's not that expensive to bring two casters or one caster and two commentator from Sport TV or with the O Gamings or the Germans Take TV show, so that they could broadcast in their own language to everyone with proper production quality. That's a start.
Yeah, but that would be super expensive. Plus, you look at our official WCS stream, and it's not even 1080p. It's still 720.
Yeah, so it just that's what I was saying when I said I personally feel offended that the game that I invested my childhood, the game that I loved so much and invested so much time and somehow became some sort of a on-stage personality and ran with it for a couple of years, for someone like I am not a Blizzard insider. I devoted so much time and effort of my 30-year life into it, and I just don't see. I just don't feel like I'm getting rewarded for that from Blizzard. If anything, they're taking all this money or the fame or all the success they had from this game, and they're literally translating or transferring into other tournaments, especially with Heroes of the Storm. When it tanked so hard, when it wasn't doing so bad, they were still pouring money into it to revitalize it.
Which they did, though. I mean, it is like...
Good for you, but do I give a shit? No, I want to see Starcraft excel first, and then other games can follow. So that's why I said I personally feel offended.
Sure, I mean, and they're doing the same thing with Overwatch League. I mean, Overwatch League feels super forced to me. Like the teams had, like we talked about it earlier, like the teams had to like buy in to even be a part of it.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, I mean, maybe that was just a way for them not to put their own money into it. Maybe
smart.
That's
smart for Blizzard.
I'm not. You pay us to play in it, and then we'll talk. Yeah, I don't know.
I know we go into more details. I should probably before I brought this up, I should have actually probably sat down and jotted some notes down or whatever. I probably said things that are conflicting or whatnot, and I'm pretty sure this is something you weren't really expecting to get into.
No, it was still interesting talk.
It was just a hard day.
I don't regret talking about any of that. It was all super constructive.
I just needed some work to vent. And thanks for letting me.
You're welcome, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. I hope they invite you to a couple more events this year. I hope we can get you back out for.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I would love it. But after today's episode, I don't know the likelihood.
Yeah. As soon as Blizzard sees this, like take him off the list.
Yeah, probably.
No, hopefully they watch it and say, "Hey, those guys had some good ideas." Maybe we'll bring that up at the next community summit. We'll bring Mal in and have him talk to us and see if we can't come up with some shit.
No, they're too proud to do that.
I don't know, man. They invited me. I'm just saying. I'm just
Thanks for
saying.
having me. No, this is a great channel. I mean, the show that you have, and the fact that I was able to talk about this and sort of have a first rant of things of this. No, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's what it's all about here, man. We keep it real. We keep it real here.
That's right. That's right.
But I know I was talking with because Cheesadelphia, right? The what always happens out in Philly.
Yeah,
They're doing the 3 tournaments this year. They're doing because they're
Nice.
actually they're growing.
they're growing. Yeah, for sure.
So they're doing.
So I remember their first tournament being like, what price was like $400 something?
Yeah, tiny.
Yeah.
So they're doing Philly, then Chicago, and then their finals in DC.
Nice.
So and they already reached out to me to be a part of the team for the Chicago broadcast. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Since
Good
I'm
for you, man.
well, because I'm pretty local, so it kind of makes sense just to like, all right, let's get some local peeps up in here.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I have good memories with DC too. I hope you get to go there. DC used to be the final destination of Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah, dude.
Red Bull Battlegrounds.
That's what they needed. Blizzard just means to be like, yo, Red Bull, like let's do this again. Like let's relive the good old days. Like it's like when you see your ex, like it's like, hey, like we told each other if we were both still single by the time we were 40, we would just get married. Okay, we're still single. But let's just do it. Let's pull the trigger. Like Red Bull just needs to get back in bed with Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like for everything.
That would be nice.
It would be great
That'd be nice.
It would be great for everything.
That would be nice.
So anyway, okay. So let's wrap up the show because it's
All right.
we're going on here. So go ahead and Mal, make sure you got the Twitch stream open, and then make sure you
Yeah.
you need to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how this is gonna work. I wish there's like some sort of a screen mirroring thing so we could watch it together.
Oh, yeah. Hang on 2 seconds. Maybe I can. Can I? I might be able to show you mine. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this. Let's go settings. Where is it? Video. XSplit broadcaster. Okay, there you go. You should be able to just full screen it, and then you should be able to see what I'm seeing, which is you. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that'll just show you. Never mind, that won't work. I'm stupid. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. All right. Well, it's fine. Just watch the stream. You'll be able to tell what's going on. So
Okay.
You just won't have the audio for it, but you'll be able to tell. All right, guys. This is our community top 5. So before we get into this, I just want to explain a little bit, and I want you guys to keep sending these in. So basically, these are the top 5 clips that people clipped from this week and then sent into the show. So if you want anyone's clip, or if you have a clip that you think would be great for this, send it in. Anytime. Don't ever stop sending them in, because I'm going to do this each and every week. So just keep sending them in. So if you clip something great from Beyond stream, send it in. If you clip a funny moment from Uppetry Zelda stream, send it in. So no matter what stream it's from, fucking send it. It doesn't even have to be gameplay. As long as it's just StarCraft 2 relevant, send it in. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into this week's top 5. Little production value. So starting us out, we have Miss Magitech with a creepy laugh.
Sorry, that was a weird laugh.
Joe, I am looking at your screen.
Okay.
This is here at the front. Nice creep lane.
Next we have
Digging
from
that.
Andy
It's just
Man
gonna help Vidanovic out though. I got it.
It's like an Oculus slip and
Yeah.
slide.
with the Ultraless Slip and Slide. Next we have a Velo with classic Avilo. Next we have Maynard from his 24-hour stream.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
He sacrificed all those medevacs.
Fucking army, dude. Oh no!
Oh, he did on purpose. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, Maynard's turn.
Yeah.
Oh, he started this.
Yeah.
Oh no!
He was playing Zerg. And lastly we have from our GSL broadcast,
Maybe you fell.
the Flasker!
Keep chugging.
Swinging from a flask in the back of the studio watching.
Man, I saw that the GIF or whatever and
The GIF.
man, you don't see that. You don't see that in Korean.
No, that was he doesn't even look old enough to drink.
No, that's why he hid it.
Yeah.
He hit it right after. He took a sip, and as soon as he knew camera was on,
Oh.
he's like, "Oh shit! I gotta keep it deal.
That guy's my hero. That guy's my hero right
He is
now.
my hero. He is definitely my hero of the week, at least.
Yeah, hero of the week for sure. So yeah, guys, if you have a funny clip, send those in. We'll get a part of it next week, and those will get uploaded to the channel. Obviously, you can rewatch those at any time. Those will get uploaded to the YouTube, or you can replay back the VOD, so you can watch those any time. But that brings us to the end of our show. So I want to thank everyone who stuck with us for the whole conversation.
Can I plug my shit?
Absolutely. Go
Before
ahead.
you close out.
Yeah,
All right.
go ahead.
So first of all, I know you guys probably generally don't give a shit about things that I do. It would probably be helpful if I had prettier face and nicer body. But anyways, I have a podcast that I do with my producer, Shots. Bring guests on every now and then, or at least we're gonna try to in 2018. Where you can find them, you go to podbean.com, malmamal.podbean.com, or you could go to your iTunes or Google Music and just type Mal in the podcast section. Also, I have a vlog. I think you can just type in Mal Presents, and you can find a couple of vlogs here. And yeah, those two are going to be my thing in 2018. So check me out.
Perfect, man. Again, thank you everyone for watching the show today. Thank you to Sloth Esports, who again have recommitted to another full year of sponsorships. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're following the channel. That way you can be eligible for our giveaways later this year, probably starting next month when we get some of that swag. We're going to be giving away the Sloth Esports mouse pads. We're going to be giving away a couple of those. If you win one of the
how do I win? What? What do I have to win? What do I have to do to win?
You just have to be following and be watching the show during one of the giveaways.
Shit.
And then we'll also probably give this away as well. We have a Razer Naga Chroma. Not today, but we will give that away at some point as well. So if you guys want to be a part of the giveaways, make sure you're at least following the channel. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you guys do want to donate, it's greatly appreciated. Like I said, all the support that you guys give us goes directly back into the channel. Our goal right now, obviously, is to go to Austin to do more live content. Mal was there when we did our interview in Montreal, so he kind of knows what we're all about and doing as far as that goes. So we bring guys.
It's random entertainment, literally, and honestly, dropping donations for our dank boy here. It's not a lot. $5 a month or whatever. It's not gonna be the end of the world for you. You probably lose $5 in changes every day anyway.
It's one.
They won't even know about it.
It's one less Starbucks a month.
Yeah.
But
so
no,
do it.
But if you guys do it, it's obviously greatly appreciated. I just want you guys to know that it does go back into the stream. It doesn't go into Toast Pocket. It goes back into the community. It goes back into creating more content.
And so what if you take some into your pocket?
I don't. Believe me, we're not making any money doing this. We're not making any money doing this.
Believe me.
We're not.
Sorry, that's my little Trump imitation there, impersonation there.
If I was in it for the money, I would have picked another esport.
Yeah. Shame on you.
No, good for me because I'm where I want to be. I'm where what I love, I'm doing what I love, and
yeah. That's a good feeling.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the show. We'll be live again next week, same time. Hope to see you then. Hopefully, we'll announce a guest here within the next couple of days. So till then, take care, and we'll see you next week. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that fucking subscribe button because we need more YouTube subscribers. Free. Exactly.
It's free. And while you're at it, click on mine too. Thanks for having me, Thomas. It was great.
You're welcome, man. Always good to have you. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks.
Peace.